Crowds of supporters of former President Jacob Zuma who have been thronging to welcome him home. A special prayer service has been held to celebrate his release from prison on medical parole. In July, Zuma began serving a 15-month sentence for contempt of court. Let's discuss the politics of all of this with political analyst Thamsanqa Malinga. Thamsanqa, thank you so much for making time. I want us to start reflecting on what the former president had to say first. It's very clear from what he said that he's not happy with the current leadership of the ANC.
Yeah, thank you for your time, Clement. For me, it's a typical Jacob Zuma move. You know, it borders on, I was listening to it and I said, no wonder they call him Gezehlegisa. You know, he is able to launch an attack whilst at the same time just laughing. You know, he makes himself the victim in all of this. I have, over the years, studied and looked at how Jacob Zuma portrays himself. And in this instance, it didn't differ. You know, he is the victim. The current lot are bad guys. I mean, there was a point where he says there are people within the movement who talk about our shortcomings and failures. He talks about the conference. He's now preempting the conference that's coming, the 55th conference. He says, you have the conference and take those people out, you know. So for me, it was just a classic Jacob Zuma move. He has pulled nothing of this sort ever since I've started observing him.
Yeah, and I mean, he says that the next conference of the ANC is going to be quite critical. We don't have to move away. We must make sure that that conference takes appropriate decisions, fix the ills of the ANC. And he says those responsible for these ills must be taken out. What do you make of the people that attended this prayer session, this welcoming party? Because again, it's events like this that often people refer to as the opportunity for the grouping of the wounded. I understand that Minister Lindiwe Sisulu was there. Apparently she didn't leave the car. She was listening from the president from her car, but she did attend the event. There are people like Ace Makashule, Carl Niehaus that were there. It's an opportunity for those that are not happy with the status quo gathering, yes, to support the former president, but to also register their unhappiness with how things are unfolding.
It was a very opportune moment for them to actually gather and start building. You look at Ace Makashule was there. They acknowledged Des Van Rooyen. Supra Mahumapilu was there. Lindiwe Sisulu, even Carl posted a picture earlier on, and you just said that she didn't get off the car. She just listened from her car. Who else was there? Batabile Dlamini. So you can see that there is some sort of planning that is taking place. You know, when some people were passing on messages, they were saying that Jacob Zuma said he has now started consultation with faith leaders, with youth leaders, with student leaders. He says that we've got to mobilize for 80% of the electorate. So you can still see, I looked at that and I said, there is some form of, you know, mobilization, some form of takeover that is being planned. Hence, he also went back and reflected on the upcoming conference.
Yeah, so basically, the position that is being taken then is we're not going to mobilize against the ANC. Let's get people to vote for the organization, but we are going to take our fight to the next conference of the African National Congress, and that's where we need to change the leadership. So it's fair to say that the battle is really on to the next elective conference of the ANC. The ANC didn't associate itself with this event, Thamsanqa. I know it was organized by his foundation, and yes, there were some ANC leaders there, including some provincial leaders, but the party as a movement has not really endorsed it, and some people feel like that's the party once again abandoning the former president in the time of need.
Well, it was a catch-22 for the party. Damned if they did to say to the members, you do not go there wearing ANC regalia, because then they are seeing their feathers. You are victimizing Jacob Zuma. And damned if they said, oh, well, everyone go ahead. And then because then we come on board and say, oh, it was a great electioneering opportunity for you guys. Hence, they kept quiet about this. They kept quiet because for them, keeping quiet actually benefits them, in a sense that Jacob Zuma is still saying to people, continue to vote for the ANC. They are doing quite badly right now in terms of campaigning. They are nowhere. Cyril Ramaphosa was supposed to be Orlando Soweto. He had to cancel. The situation was volatile. He probably was going to be met with hostile citizens.